Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the Corsair Pavilion in Santa Monica, California for today's game of the Corsairs versus the Morrpark Raiders men's volleyball. And it should be a great match here tonight in the pavilion as we have a rematch going on here. Last time these two teams faced each other, Santa Monica Corsairs came up on top 3-1 in the first set, 27-25. 25-17 Morrpark, 25-21 SMC, and the final set was 28-23 SMC. So as you can tell, it was a very good game last time these two teams faced off each other. Some guys to look out for is Damian Anisimov, who is playing amazing volleyball. In the last matchup, he had 20 kills, and in their previous matchup against Santa Barbara, he had 25 kills. I spoke to both coaches before, and just to let you know, these coaches are prepared for this game, and they have taken the time to get their teams ready. Coach Hedlund let me know that he wants to get the bigs more involved. After watching the last game, he thought they did not play mentally tough. He wants them to play volleyball, and he wants to get those middles going. And, of course, he wants to look out for Damian Anisimov, says he wants to keep him off the center. And he told me himself that he believes he's a candidate for Player of the Year. Some players he told me to look out for over there in Morrpark are Nicholas Sonko, who says he always carries the load for these guys. The starting lineup for the Santa Monica Corsairs are number 3, Kanan Lerner, number 7, Damian Anisimov, number 10, Jaden Lyons, number 14, Ethan Lowe, number 18, Ryan Montero, and number 21, Soria Rahman. For the Morrpark College men's, we have Owen Peterson, number 4, number 10, Nicholas Sonko, number 12, Sean Ogle, number 13, Oliver Baton, and number 14, Sean Nelson, as well as number 16, Sinjin Lofton, number 17, Joey Nelson, and number 20, Danny Guerrero. We should have a great match. I'm excited. It's just me tonight, just the good old Victor Estrada, no Sierra tonight, or my other partner, James. So I'm excited to do this solo dolo. And I'm excited. I was watching these guys warm up, and boy, are they athletic. I'm excited to see what goes on. The last matchup was pretty close, so I'm hoping for a good game here tonight for the ladies and gentlemen watching at home.
We're going to get here started off. We got a little bit of Drake playing in the background before. Can't go wrong with Drake, am I right? Some things that Coach Chow said that he found was some takeaways from the last game is that the Morrpark Raiders are quite crafty, and he worked on some defensive mobility as the game's getting started here by James Bond with the serve to the Raiders. And the Raiders take it back to the Corsairs. Let's see what they can do here. A quick tip over. And there's Damian Anisimov getting ready for tonight's game, as they're able to return this one. They're setting up again for their number 1 guy, and he's able to execute. He's fired up already. Looks like the game plan is get the ball to their number 1 guy and let him go to work, and so far it's working. 1-0, Corsairs lead. And yes, I said that correctly. That is James Bond serving ball. No, his name is not the 007 agent that we know and love. He's actually from Croatia. I spoke to him before the game, and here's a bounce back from the Raiders. Good defense from the Corsairs, and Anisimov, a crafty tip over, and we get a dig, and they tip it back. Corsairs getting ready to set it up again. And the Raiders respond with a kill from number 4, Owen Peterson. Quick substitution here. We have Sean Ogle coming in for their libero. They actually have 2 liberos on this team, Joey Nelson and Sean Ogle, and we just seen Sean Ogle check in the game. As we have Owen Peterson serving it. James Bond with the tip up, and they go into Damian Anisimov. Raiders setting up some offense here. Number 14, great defensive play from Ryan Montero. And here's Nicholas Sonko, who Coach spoke highly of before the game with his first point of the game. 2-1, Raiders take the lead here. Raiders bench are fired up, and they're involved in this game. Here's Owen Peterson with the serve. James Bond with the tip up. And here's nearly out of, just barely out of bounds. Jaden Lyons with the potential kill, no good. Point goes to the Raiders. That's 3 in a row for the Raiders. Let's see if the Corsairs can bounce back here as Owen Peterson's getting ready to serve once again. Great dig from Ethan Lowe. And here's a trick play. Nicholas Sanko with a powerful hit, no good. And they block Damien Anisimov, but it's out of bounds. Point Corsair, 3-2. Man, this Raiders bench is really involved. They got guys clapping and dancing over there. Let's see if the Corsairs can go on a little bit of a run here. You know, Coach Chown spoke highly of his number 1 guy, Damien Anisimov, and he said when he's completely focused, he's completely unstoppable. He said there's nothing he can't do. Pass, serve, as the Corsairs get the ball over. So I'm hoping to see him lock in and potentially have a great game as Jaden Lyons got pinned in the face by Sean Nelson. Sean Nelson asking if he's okay. Those glasses came flying off. Point for the Raiders as we got the libero, Joey Nelson with the serve. It looks like Lyons wanted to get his get back. And here's Damien once again. Great defense from the Raiders so far against Damien. And great block from Jaden Lyons. He got his get back for getting pinned in the face from number 14, Sean Nelson. 3-4, Raiders lead. This is back and forth so far in the first set. Damien Anisimov getting ready to serve it. Looks like they're getting him a lot of looks, but so far the Raiders have been able to defend it quite well. Let's see how his service is. Wow. Great tip block from Kanan Lerner. As it's point Corsair. And ladies and gentlemen, do not hit Mr. Lyons in the face ever again. He's fired up right now. Tied up 4-4 here. Anisimov getting ready to serve once again. And that was a little bit too strong, out of bounds. Point to the Raiders. Checking in for the Raiders, we have number 1, Titus Sandifor out of Agora Hills, hometown of Redondo Beach. You know, I'm a big fan of Redondo Beach. My family used to have a beach house up there on Avenue A. Great little town. Nice little quiet beach city that you have in LA County. Let's see what he's got as he's serving the ball here. Damien Anisimov returns it. And they set up number 3. He gets blocked by number 13, Oliver Baton out of Santa Clarita. That was a huge block for the Raiders. 6-4 as they're taking a little bit of a lead here. No team has been able to widen the gap in the score so far. Let's see if that'll change here as Titus Sandifor is getting ready to serve again, and here we go. James Bond falling to the ground as he saves it. Here's the big fella. Great defense so far from the Raiders. And James Bond getting ready to set up his guy. And they find the hole. What a set from James Bond to his guy, Kanan Lerner, who was able to kill it down and put a point on the board for the Corsairs as they trail by 1 now, 5-6. James Lyons getting ready to serve the ball here. Jaden Lyons, my apologies. Like I said, this Raiders bench is involved. They're clapping on every play. They're getting their guys fired up. And those 2 service errors for the Corsairs. Hopefully they're looking to clean that up. And when I was spoken to Coach Chown before the game, that's what he told me. He said, yes, they did get the win last time, but they thought that they weren't consistent enough on the defensive end, and he thought there was a lot left on the table. So far, it looks like the Corsairs are not totally mentally dialed in, and hopefully that'll turn around as they're getting ready to score again. And that was a little bit of a mess up, but like I said, it doesn't seem like they're mentally checked in yet, as there's a 3-point lead for the Raiders, 8-5. Coach Town did say he wanted to take advantage of the middles mismatch that they have. And he said last game the middles weren't too good. Sean Nelson serves a little bit too hard. And the point goes to Santa Monica Corsairs, 6-8, the Corsairs trail. We've got Samunu Hanman out of Culver City getting ready to serve here. Big fellow in the back. Sean Nelson with the return, and Sean Nelson coming in for the kill, and it's a great block again. Kanan Lerner has been playing great defense for the Corsairs. That's 2 blocks on tonight's game. Corsairs are trailing by 1 point. This game is back and forth, and it looks like the Corsairs are gaining some momentum here. As we're getting another serve from Hanman. Ball's in. Directly to Owen Nelson again. And here comes another great block. Looks like I was incorrect. That's a point for the Raiders. And Owen Peterson credited for that point, as we have Jackson Rape checking in for number 16, St. John Lafton. He's getting ready to serve the ball here. And the bench is getting it ready, calling his name, chanting him up. Ball's up. Let's see what they do here. Wow. Impressive kill from Soria Rahman as he finds the open hole in the Raiders defense, and he puts a point on the board. Trail by 1. We've now got Kanan Lerner getting ready to serve here. See if we can even up the score for the Corsairs. That's another kill from the man, Owen Peterson. Boy, can he get up there. And now serving for the Morrpark Raiders is Oliver Baton out of Santa Clarita. 6-foot setter. Let's see what he can do on this serve. Barely gets over the net. The Corsairs were ready, and here comes Damon Anisimov. And too much power. But looks like it was tipped by number 13, Olivier Baton. And now we got 007 James Bond serving the ball here for the Corsairs. The libero himself. Let's see what he can do. Libero to libero. And there's a great dig. Get the ball over, play it safe. And violation on number 20, Danny Guerrero, as now the score is even up 10-10. And those were back-to-back plays that he had. They set him up perfectly, and he got 2 kills. The first one was almost close, but we had a great dig from number 18. Ryan Montero, great dig by him. And it's not good enough as they go to their man, Nicholas Samko. And now we got Owen Nelson getting ready to serve. Raiders take the 1-point lead here, 11-10. Let's see if someone can widen the gap here in the score. So far, we have not seen a major difference. I think the biggest gap was 3-point lead. And Damon Anisimov gets met at the net. Let's see if he can come back. And there he is again with his second kill of the night. He evens up the score. Let's see if he can get going here in this first set. We haven't seen him really get on a streak here as the big fella Hanman checks back in. And like I said, I've seen a couple of impressive digs from the Corsairs, and I spoke to Coach John before the game, and I let him know, I said, you guys are averaging almost 10 digs. How do you get your guys to do that? And he said, I'm barking at them every day in practice. Sometimes they don't like it, but the mentality I want to steal in their head is if the ball is near you, go get a chance at it. And as the Corsairs block the ball out of bounds, and the Raiders take a 1-point lead here, 12-11. You got the libero himself, Joey Nelson, getting ready to serve it here. And this Raiders team is fired up. This bench is going. They're all standing. They're all clapping. I think it's important when your team plays together and there's chemistry. And that is definitely shown here tonight for the Raiders. A little bit of a technical timeout here. Referees making sure everything's all right with the balls, it seems. That one's good. They're checking out this one. Credit to the officials making sure everything's all right. Ooh. You know, I'm always impressed by the music selection we got here in the pavilion. It's always hard to not stay focused and start singing, as I am a quite lyrically inclined fella. Checking the net out as well, making sure everything's all good. Let's see if the Corsairs can go on a run here, take a little bit of a lead as they trail by 1 and have not led since the beginning of the game when they were up 1-0 in this first set. I think we're having some technical clock issues, ladies and gentlemen. Please bear with us here. Yeah, like I said, Coach Town makes sure that his guys are locked in. Yeah, I think I could tell speaking to him before the game that he knows what he's doing, and he's definitely passionate about this sport. He was very adamant on letting me know that he's always barking at his fellas in practice and making sure they're ready to hustle. And I mean, it shows. I've seen. They say you can't coach hustle, but I think Coach Town has the recipe for success there, as his guys are definitely hustling. I think it's like he mentioned with his star player Dimian Anisimov about being focused. I'm thinking that when this Corsair team is focused, they're more than likely unstoppable. And the mismatches in the middle are definitely apparent, but so far the Raiders have been able to stay in with the Corsairs. And that was the game plan for Coach Hedlund, to make sure he gets his middles involved more to counter the other middles of the Corsairs. And Sean Nelson serving it up with James Bond getting up. And here comes Hanman, and he gets the kill. That's a big fella right there. Score's all tied up, 12-12. Looks like the Corsairs just need a little bit of time to gather it up. And here comes Damon Anisimov getting ready to serve. Yeah, Coach Town had high praise for this guy. Says there's nothing he can't really do as he's getting ready to serve, and that is a great serve. And that is an ace for Damon Anisimov, and he's all fired up, and so is his team. Raiders bench is they're not backing down though. They'll let us hear everything after every play. Anisimov getting ready to serve again. Another great serve, barely getting over the net. And the Corsairs bail themselves out of that one as Owen Nelson gets blocked. And here he comes again. Play is still here, and here comes Lerner. Owen Nelson with the save. That was a bit of a sloppy rally from both sides, as St. John laughed and was not able to get it across. And the Corsair now take a 2-point lead here in the first set, 14-12. It's been back and forth. Damon Anisimov getting ready for another serve. And it looks like Joey Nelson's complaining to the refs here about that last. I mean, I thought so too, that it looked like they were grabbing the net there. And it looks like the referees are going to discuss here about that last rally. It was quite sloppy. Nonetheless, the Corsair scored. But Joey Nelson doesn't agree with the final verdict. And I don't blame him. Gives him a fist bump. Gets ready to play again. The second technical timeout comes to an end, and Damian Anisimov is getting ready to serve. Never mind. Looks like Coach Hedlund has a few words as well. He's quite adamant and upset over the last play. And ref says, let's play ball. Well, honestly, I don't blame him. There was a lot of activity around the net there on that last point, but nonetheless, here comes Damian Anisimov with another great serve. And Lions there to finish it off once again. The Corsairs are getting some momentum here as they take their largest lead, and that's it for Coach Hedlund. He needs a timeout. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this first set has been nothing but entertaining. Both sides are going back and forth, and this is the first time we've seen the Corsairs widen the score gap here a little bit. They're still only up by 3, so the Raiders are more than definitely still in this first set. Their last game was just as close as this one, so it's looking like it's going to be the same story here. I mean, both teams are coming off of a one loss streak, so there's a lot of importance in this game here. They both need to get a win. They don't want to fall to a 2-game losing streak. The Raiders have a little bit more sense of urgency as they lost to the Corsairs last time at their own place. So coming into the pavilion and getting the dub would be a nice feeling and a nice redemption. Let's see if they can bounce back here, or we're going to continue to see the Corsair and Damian Anisimov show. Been quite impressed by Lions and the other big fella, Hanman. They've been doing great around the middle, and that's just like Coach Chown said. They've got the mismatches around the middle. It's all about taking advantage, and that's another great serve as the ball comes all the way over here to the broadcast booth, and that is the second ace of the night for Damian Anisimov. I'm starting to see why he's a candidate for Player of the Year. This first set from him is quite impressive, and I fear for the Raiders that we've even seen him in his flow state yet. So here he gets ready to serve the ball again. Gets it high in the air. And there is their guy, Nicholas Sonko, with the kill. Stop the bleeding here as they trail by 3 now. And their other libero, Sean Ogle, comes back into the game and getting ready to serve is Titus Sandifor, my fellow Redondo Beach native. Well, I'm actually not a Redondo Beach native, but I like to say I have some ties there. As he's getting ready to serve. And there it is. The one and only Damian Anisimov again, finding the gap and executing. 4-point lead for the Corsairs, 17-13. As we've got Soria Ramad checking back in. Lions getting ready to serve. That one looked like it was out of bounds by Sean Nelson, but it looks like he got it to hit one of the Corsair defenders, and his point Raiders as James Bond checks back in. Number 8, the libero. Funny thing about James is he let me know that it's spelled B-A-N as the Raiders get another point here, but in Croatian they pronounce it Bond. Boom, that was a pretty cool name. Sean Nelson getting ready to serve. See if they can tie it up here and score 2 in a row. That is a great serve, but Damian Anisimov is there to set it up for his team. And Lerner gets it over. Lerner. Ooh. And that was almost a great kill by Nicholas Sonko. But that one was too far out of bounds, and the lead is now up to 3 as Hanman's getting ready to serve. The big fella in the back. Sean Nelson returns it. And a great kill from Owen Peterson. We've seen a lot of activity from Owen Peterson and Nicholas Sanko. Let's see if the Raiders can keep on getting them opportunities to score as Jackson Rape checks back in and is getting ready to serve. The bench is just as involved. Chanted Jackson's name as he's getting ready to serve, and he makes a mistake. A costly one now, as the Corsairs at a 19-16 lead. Maybe the bench was too much for him. We've got Kanal Lerner getting ready to serve. And there's a great dig from the libero. Lerner getting it over. Let's see who they set up. Sean Nelson, and he messes. He misses and he hits the net. This is the largest lead for the Corsairs, ladies and gentlemen, 20-16. 5 points away from taking the first set as Lerner's getting ready to serve again. Lerner saving it, setting up for the one and only. Wow. Too much power there from Damien. Right idea. Looks like the Raiders stop the bleeding for now as their second libero, Sean Ogle, checks back in. And getting ready to serve is Oliver Botten, who's just checking in as well. Let's see if they can tie this up, get themselves back in here before it's too late. Ball's up. And a great save again from Ryan Montero. But not good enough as it is points for the Raiders. 2018, Corsairs lead. Baton getting ready to serve again. See how the Corsairs respond after 2 points for the Raiders. Sean Nelson coming in to clean it up. They're getting it over. And that is a kill from the big fella, Soria Ramon. As he's checking out the other big fella, Jaden Lyons. 4 points away from taking the first set as we have James Bond serving the ball once again. Let's see what the Raiders do. They go to their number one guy, and it is blocked by Lyons. And boy, are the Corsairs fired up, and so is Lyons. He's been outstanding for them at the net. 4 point lead, 3 points away from taking the first set. The Corsairs are fired up as James Bond's getting ready to serve again. Let's see how the Raiders respond. A technical tip. James Bond saves it for the dig. And there's number 4, Owen Peterson, to clean it up. And Coach Sean let me know before, he wanted to work on the defensive mobility because these Raiders are a crafty team, he said. And we had seen some craftiness as we got James Bond cleaning up the floor for his team. Asking for some help, maybe. Looks like he's got it all covered. Service here from Owen Peterson as they're looking to tie this up and not fall too short as they're trailing by 3. And here's the man, Lyons. They've got Peterson in the back. And here's Nelson. Too much, out of bounds. But it was tipped from the Corsairs. Wow. 20-22 now. Peterson getting ready to serve the ball once again. They're closing the gap here. James Bond setting it up. And here he is. Damien Anisimov met at the net by 2. Jaden Lyons again. 2 points away from taking this first set. They've got Hanman checking back in for the one and only hustler, Montero, who's been playing outstanding. And serving for the Corsairs is Ethan Lowe, as he's looking to close this first set out with 2 quick points. And this has been a great first set so far, back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. An exact replay of the first matchup between both these teams. The bench is getting ready, they're clapping. And they're setting up the man. Let's see what they've got here. Great kill from Danny Guerrero. As Lafton checks in and gives them that chest bump. They're only trailing by 2 now. As Joey Nelson's getting ready to serve. Lions man at the net. No worries. Here comes Hanman. Peterson. Nelson. James Bond with the set. One more set. Damon Anisimov with the crafty tip. Sonko was there. Point for the Raiders. They trail by 1 here in the first set. First to 25, ladies and gentlemen. Timeout, Corsairs. Things are getting close. The Raiders are bouncing back. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. I think this is the theme for tonight's match so far, is anything can happen. It's been a quite exciting battle from both of these teams. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from the Raiders. They're playing together. They don't got a number 1 guy like Damon Anisimov on their team, but they do know how to play together. And I see what Coach Chan was meaning by they're a crafty team, and it is important to be mobile on defense, as he said he had his team prepare for tonight's game. But he did tell me that what he really saw was the major advantage in their first matchup was the mismatch on the middles, and that has been apparent so far in tonight's game. But Coach Chown said he wanted his boys to be, or Coach Hedlund from the Raiders, my apologies, said he wanted his boys to be mentally tough, and so far I think they have been quite tough on the mental edge. As we've got Joey Nelson getting ready to serve, see if they can tie it up here, or the Corsairs are going to need one more point. And there he is, number 10, Jaden Lyons with another huge play for the Corsairs as they're 1 point away from taking this set, and they've got their number 1 guy, Damon Anisimov, getting ready to serve here. Boy, has Lyons been playing out of his mind, and that's going to force Coach Hedlund to take a timeout and get his boys mentally prepared for this next possession, as the Corsairs are 1 point from taking this away. Man, Lyons has come up huge for the Corsairs on the net. Whether it's a block or a kill, he's been all over it tonight. Great game from him. I think that Anisimov likes to see his teammates getting involved, as they have been getting involved. Hanman, Lyons, Lerner has been playing great. Montero with some great digs. These guys know how to hustle, and it shows. They have a 12-6 record, 6-2 at home, 6-3 on the road. They average 11.7 kills per set, almost 10 digs per set. They've got it all. They're looking to move 13-6 here, 7-2 at home. They fell short to Santa Barbara in their last matchup, 3-2, as Damon Anisimov is getting ready to finish this one out. Raiders are ready, and here's their number 1 guy, James Bond with the save. And here comes Hanman, blocked. Bond again with the save, and Hanman again looking to close it out, and that's exactly what he does as he points to his teammate Lerner, and they're fired up, and they're able to take that first set after a close battle between both of these teams. The Raiders are huddling up. They're not ready to call it yet. That was a great first set, ladies and gentlemen. Very entertaining, very exciting. Let's see how the Raiders are going to respond in this second set. It's looking like an exact replay of what happened in their first game. It's been a battle back and forth. We had some technical difficulties with the refs, and we're seeing Coach Hedlund complain right now with the refs. Hopefully everything gets cleaned up there. Morrpark sits at 8-8 this year, 4-4 in the conference, 2-4 at home, and 4-3 away. So they are statistically, on paper, a better team when they're on the road. But I think they're yet to face the Corsairs in the Pavilion, where they shine, 6-2. Some numbers for them: they average around 11 kills per set, 10 assists per game, 2 blocks per game, and they don't average as many. They average almost 2 less digs than this Corsairs team, and I think that's what we're seeing is these guys hustle, and they play to their maximum ability. And I think it's all about staying focused, just like Coach Chown spoke to me before the game. Looks like they have been taking advantage of the middles. And Nicholas Sonko for the Morrpark has been playing. Morrpark Raiders has been playing great, as well as Peterson and Nelson, Sean Nelson. It's interesting, they've got two liberos that check in for each other. When I was speaking to the people at the scores table, they kindly let me know that before. But it's nice to be back in the pavilion. It's a little lonesome tonight, but I'm enjoying the experience. I'm taking it with a grain of salt, as they would say, and I'm absorbing everything for everyone watching at home. Hope you guys are having a great night, and you guys are as entertained, if not more, than I am by tonight's match. You know, Santa Monica's actually got a great volleyball program. The beach volleyball ladies have been playing outstanding, and the Lady Corsairs had a great season. They almost went undefeated, and those were some fun matches to watch. Nicole Langton, woof, she was a star. "10 seconds till the second set is about to start, and I am more than excited to see how this will turn out. Like I said, I think this is up in the air for anyone. That's the theme of tonight's match, but boy, talk about the unsung MVP, Jaden Lyons. He had amazing plays for them. Let's see how he'll do here in this second set as we're getting ready to start. Referees are making sure everything is in tune and ready to go. Want to give a shout out to Gail Fetzer's media class for putting on the behind the cameras. As we're getting ready with Owen Peterson with a serve. And Jaden Lyons looking to make a statement at the beginning, but he gets met at the net. And that is a great bounce back for the Raiders as they get the first point on the board in the second set, 1-0. Owen Peterson getting ready to serve again. Although there is a mismatch by the middles, these Raiders are not afraid to meet these Corsairs at the net as Damian Anisimov gets met, and he's getting ready to go again. Owen Peterson sets it up in the air. Here comes Nelson. Great effort from Lerner, but it was not enough, and that's 2 points now for the Raiders. As they're starting off strong, 2-0. Deep breath from Peterson as he's getting ready to serve. Great communication from the Corsairs as they call out, and that's exactly where it goes. Hanman checking in for the one and only Montero, who's been hustling all night, and here's James Bond as well. And we've got Ethan Lowe getting ready to serve. Sophomore, 6 foot, out of San Jose. Welcome to Santa Monica. And there's a mishap from Danny Guerrero as he misses it, and now it is tied up 2-2 here in the pavilion. Ethan Lowe getting ready to serve, and boy, does he throw that ball up low. Nelson, mad by Jaden Lyons, and they're setting up Anisimov, and he gets it done. 3-2. Corsairs take the lead in the second set. And when you look at Anisimov's serve, he gets that ball way up there, but Lowe keeps it low to the ground. No pun intended. And here's the main guy, Sanko, but they're able to save it. Anisimov getting it over the net. They're setting it up. Guerrero wants his get back. Lyons meets him at the net. And here comes Nelson. The cheeky tip. James Bond gets it. And Anisimov again. And he's able to execute. That's 4 in a row for the Corsairs as they take the 4-2 lead here. And we've got Sean Wallig out of Pacific Palisades checking in here for the Corsairs. Ethan Lowe getting ready to serve once again. With the low serve special. That's what we're going to call it. Here we go. And there's their guy, Sanko, with his first kill of the second set as the Lafton's getting ready to check in. Serve is up. Here comes Anisimov. Too much. It's all tied up here, 4-4 in the second set. As Joey Nelson's getting ready to serve for the Raiders. And a bit of a mistake there from number 15, Sean Wallig, as he sets it up out of bounds. Hanman couldn't make anything out of that play there. He lays out for the next one, and Anisimov comes in with a cheeky tip. Peterson there in the back to set it up for Nelson. Met at the net by Anisimov and Lyons. And here comes Anisimov again with a little tip over the net. And that is a 2-point lead now for the Corsairs. 6-4. They've got two guys meeting Anisimov at the net at all times, but it looks like Anisimov has an answer for anything. As he's getting ready to serve. And look how high he gets the ball up in comparison to low. I find that quite fascinating. That's almost touching the roof. And there's a service error. Looks like there was an error in the score. And the Raiders are actually now leading 6-5. Looks like I got to pay more attention to the score here. Titus Sandefur checking in to serve for the Raiders. Bench is loving it. They're chanting his name. I'm loving the energy so far in tonight's game. James Bond lays out, and Lyons is there again. This is becoming a trend tonight. Set it up for Lyons and let him go to work as he's getting ready to serve with the score all tied up here. Powerful serve, set it up for Nelson, and he's able to find the gap in the defense and score for the Raiders. And he's getting ready to serve now, as we got a libero swap. Sean Ogle checking back in. And Joey Nelson is a leader, ladies and gentlemen. He's involved in every play. He's talking to his team, he's talking to the rest, he's talking to his coach. Qualities of a leader as Nelson gets it in. Seems to be a tip there, no? And there was not. Point Raiders, as that was too much from the big fella. Soria Ramon. As Sean Nelson getting ready to serve. And the bench is chanting Sean's name as he's getting ready. That's a great serve. Anisimov just gets safely getting it over. And great defense from Soria, but the ball deflected out of bounds. Therefore, that is a point for the Raiders as they have a 3-point lead now here in the second set. Going on a bit of a run here. Nelson getting ready to serve, and that one is too strong. That one didn't even touch the ground. Hahnemann checked in, getting ready to serve. Ball's in. And there's Lafton with the kill. St. John Lafton out of Oak Park with the long frame. Getting it done as he's getting ready to check out. For Jackson Ripe, getting ready to serve once again. Last time he was here and they were chanting his name, he had an error. Let's see if he can redeem himself here as the ball's up and it's over. Soria met at the net once again. Let's see if they get it back to him. They do. Great defense from the Raiders. They get it over safely. Let's see what they set up. Ethan Lowe, Lerner with the tip over. Nelson setting up his guy, Peterson. He gets it over. And that's a point for the Raiders. 11-7. 4-point lead here. As Ryan Montero was on his knees and unable to get that last one. Here comes Jackson with the serve again. He's over. Montero, a little sets it up for Lerner, and he gets a good kill there. As he scores the 8th point for the Corsairs, and they're trailing by 3. Let's see if they go on a run here and tie things up. Lerner getting ready to serve here. Wow, that is impressive by Anisimov. Sanko got up there, head above the net, and Damon was able to meet him at the net and block it. 2 in a row for the Corsairs as they're trailing by 2. Let's see how they bounce back. Lerner with a serve. Setting up Peterson. Looks like there was a net violation there. Point to the Raiders. Marco Farabolini getting ready to serve from Granada Hills. And we got a little bit of a Marco Polo chant coming from the Raiders bench as he serves it. It's good. James Bond gets it up in the air. Sawyer almost had to kill. Anisimov barely missed the broadcast camera as it went out of bounds. That was coming straight for me. I wasn't worried one bit though. Corsairs trail by 4 here in the second set. This has been all Raiders so far. Corsairs are yet to lead as Marco's getting ready to serve again. And there it is. Wow. That's twice now from Ryan Montero where he was unable. And there's a timeout from Coach Chown. He is not liking what he is seeing as the Raiders take a 5-point lead in this second set. They have definitely got the momentum so far. We're just seeing some mental mishaps from Santa Monica. Those were 2 points that Montero gave up due to being off balance on the return from the serve. Let's see if Coach Chown is able to get his boys mentally clocked back in, figure it out. We've yet to see Anisimov get involved too much. He almost got me with that last potential kill, but too much power out of bounds. Both of these teams seem to be well coached. That is something I can appreciate when watching sports. We've got the Marco Polo chant coming back out again as he's getting ready to serve. He's got a fun name. Marco Farabolini. And there's Soria to bounce back, and boy, these Corsairs are fired up. J-Line checking it for him. Woo-hoo-hoo. They're ready to bounce back as James Bond's getting ready to serve. Boy, Soria was happy after that one. Here's James Bond as he serves it. And there's their main guy, Sanko. Barely gets it in. Keeping the 5-point lead for these Raiders as we've got a libero swap once again. Sean Ogle checking back in. Owen Peterson getting ready to serve. There he is. Damon Anisimov with a great kill. And Hanman, the big fellow, is checking back in. Now, these three guys, Lyons, Anisimov, and Hanman, all there at the net. Now that is intimidating. We've got low serving. Let's see how the Raiders respond to this lineup that is on the court for the Corsairs. And it's up. They're setting it up for Nelson as he gets blocked by Hanman at the net. But it went out of bounds. Unfortunate. Point for the Raiders. Nelson pointed to his mom in the crowd. She loves it. James Bond getting ready. And there's Lyons. He is having a night. Do not leave the ball up in the air for him, because he will find it. Here's Damien getting ready to serve with that ball high up in the air. Wow. Nelson met at the net by Hanman. Sorry, not the rim. Big basketball fan. That serve from Damien is quite impressive. Almost touches the roof and then comes down like a meteor. He's getting ready to serve again. It's up. And it's over. Wow. And there's Lafton with the kill. Sanko loves it. Bodied his jersey. Man, that was impressive. Mr. St. John Lafton out of Oak Park, 6'5". Second set has been all Raiders so far. Let's see if the Corsairs can bounce back. That one almost touched the roof as Hanman's getting ready to get it over. He's blocked. Lafton saves it. There's Nelson again. Bench loves it. Chance and kill. As Titus is backing in to serve the ball for the Raiders. The Raiders have the momentum here in the second set as James Bond's getting ready to check back in. See what he can do for his Corsairs. Get him back involved in the second set as they're only trailing by 5. Titus serves. It's over. They're setting up Damien, and he executes for the kill. Soria comes checking back in, chest bumping his teammate after that impressive kill. Leiden's getting ready to serve. Let's see if they can tie it up here. Go on a little bit of a run. 14-18. Ball's up. It's over. And Soria meets them at the net. He's fired up. He is fired up. Lions getting ready to serve. See how the Raiders respond. Lafton too much out of bounds, and Damien celebrated. Timeout, Raiders. As the Corsairs are going on a bit of a run, and they're closing the gap here, trailing by 2. Coach Chown wants to make sure his guys lock in and secure this second set. If not, it'll be detrimental to their plans on winning, as they'll be trailing 2-0. Looks like the Corsairs are starting to pick it up a bit. I do not think energy is the issue for either of these teams. I think it comes down to who's more locked in. Both of these teams definitely want to win, and both teams definitely are producing enough energy and effort, but it's all about mental mishaps and staying focused, which is a common theme in any sport. Impressive performance from Lafton so far for the Morrpark Raiders. He's using that 6'5" long frame wingspan to find some gaps in his Corsair defense and executing on multiple plays here now. Rocking the John Morants. You know, honestly, since I've hung up the jersey, I don't stay in tune too much with these Nike shoes, but these John Morants are honestly quite nice. I like the way they got the Nike swoosh on them. Jay Lyons getting ready to serve, and this bench is animated. Sonko with a little bit of a tip over. Nisimov coming in. Libero saves it. Here comes Nelson. So they're going to set up the one and only Anisimov, and he finishes it off. And the Corsairs trail by 1 now. Lions getting ready to serve again. We got Baton checking back in. You know, I thought Sonko was going to go for potential kill, but he just lofted it over the net right there. And the Lions would set them up for the point for Anisimov. Let's see who they go to here. Lafton, and he's been on fire this whole set, and he kills once again. And the bench loves it. They're all over the place. Keep a 2-point lead here. Looking to hopefully be the first of 20. As they are at 19 and the Corsairs are at 17. We've got Sean Nelson getting ready to serve. See how the Corsairs respond. Soria saves it. Lerner. And Sonko with the push over the net. Here comes Lerner. He gets a tip and he finds a hole, but the libero saves it. James Bond there. And here's Soria. And the ball's still in. And Lerner tips it back. What a rally, ladies and gentlemen. Sonko laying himself out on the floor, but it was too much. And the Corsairs were able to score here to cut the lead down to 1 as Hanman's getting ready to serve. That was definitely the most impressive rally we've had all night. Bodies flying everywhere, hustle everywhere. Can't ask for much more. Corsairs looking to tie it up here. Hanman gets it over the net. And here comes Peterson. And he's blocked out of bounds. Point for the Raiders. A little bit of frustration from Ethan Lowe as he was able to block it, just not in the right direction. This bench is involved. I know I've been saying it all night, but I'm genuinely impressed by how involved they are. They've got chance for every play. As Jackson Rape checks in to serve, and they fake it, but it was not the play that they had all thought they were in tune with. And Lerner was not able to hit it over the net as there's a 3-point lead here. And the Raiders are only 4 points away from taking the second set. Here it is again from the Raiders bench. As Rape is getting ready to serve, he gets it over. And Lerner gets met by Guerrero, and he's fired up. That's a little bit of a mismatch. Timeout Corsairs as they're trailing by 4. And the Raiders are excited as they're 3 points away from taking this second set. And this whole set has been them the entire time, ladies and gentlemen. They have been dominating so far. The Corsairs are yet to lead. And they're trailing by 4 here. And I think it's all due to the fact that they want to get their get back after that first matchup they had at home. And they don't want to go out too soon. Other than Gail Fetzer's class, who I shouted out earlier, I want to shout out my guy Thorin, who helps out all the media classes and everyone behind the scenes. He's our IT technical kind of guy. He knows it all. He's actually got us hooked up with some new equipment that we're able to live stream for you, ladies and gentlemen at home, who could not make it to the pavilion in beautiful Southern California here in Santa Monica. All right, we're getting ready to check back in here as the Raiders are on a roll, and they are fired up, leading here by 4 points, and they're 3 points away. And like I said, Joey Nelson is a leader. He is on the bench talking to his team, letting them know what needs to be done. And Jackson Vibe getting ready to serve. And here's Bond. Low. Soria with a cheeky tip, and it works. Soria seems to be the X factor for this set for the Corsairs, as he's been putting on a great performance so far after the one little mishap he had. He's bounced back, and he is fired up. He's bringing great energy as Lerner's getting ready to serve. Hopefully the Corsairs can go on a run and tie it up before it's too late. And there's Peterson met at the net. Damon Anisimov met as well. Peterson sets it up. Peterson gets it back. Great save. They got to get the ball over the net here, as they do. Who are they going to go to? Peterson again, and he's met by Soria once again. The X factor of the second set. The Corsairs trail by 2, and they are fired up. Lerner getting ready to serve. This is getting quite intense. Fans screaming. And here they go, Peterson. That's 4 times in a row now. And Anisimov is not able to get it, and they score. 2 points away from taking the second set. Let's see if these Corsairs can bounce back as they trail by 3. Serves good. Here comes Anisimov. And he read the defense perfectly. Peterson and Baton jumped too early, and Damon has the hang time, so he was able to just tip it over right above their heads, find the hole. And now they trail by 2. 21-23, Raiders lead. James Bond getting ready to set, getting ready to serve here. Going to run, tied up. James Bond, he gets it over. Looking to go to their main guy, Sanko. And that's a point for the Raiders as the Corsairs tipped it out of bounds. Libero change. We've got Sean Ogle checking back in, and Peterson getting ready to serve as they are 1 point away from taking this second set. Here he is, Peterson. Bond. They set it up for Damien, and he executes. He's not going out just yet. He's been a little quiet in this second set, but he shows up most when it matters as they're trailing by 2, and Ethan Lowe is getting ready to serve with the Lowe special. Trademark that one. Here we go, Lowe. They go to Nelson, and Nelson finishes it off with an impressive kill to take the second set. And Ethan Lowe and Joey Nelson talking to the ref here. Like I said, Joey Nelson is a leader. He wants to make sure everything's going right. I don't blame him. Well, that was an impressive comeback for the Raiders to bounce back in the second set and take it, as it's now evened up 1-1, and the game is still in anyone's hands, as it has been all night. That's both sets now where the teams took the sets by only leading by less than 5 points. Stay tuned. We've got a lot of volleyball left. A 2-minute break. You know, I think I could have had a potential career in volleyball. I just don't think I'm a... Oh, there goes the camera. I don't think I'm bouncy enough, as they would say. You know what they say, white man can't jump. Well, Esteban Nunez knocked down the camera, but great sportsmanship. He was able to get it back up. Hope you guys are having a great night at home. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it. We appreciate the support. Now this next set is going to be a defining set for the game here, because whoever wins this next one is one away from winning it all. And like I said, this is an exact replay of their previous matchup where we saw SMC take the first set and we saw Morrpark take the second set. And then the Corsairs would go on to take the next two to win the game. And every set was close, just like today's. March Madness, folks. Hope you guys have been enjoying that. I know I have. We've got a great month of sports here. We've got NBA coming into a close. We've got JUCO level men's volleyball, which is very entertaining. No March Madness games tonight, so we're glad that you guys were able to check in with us here over here in the pavilion. I got Michigan winning it all in the bracket, but my bracket was cooked after the first game. Wisconsin, as they fell short to High Point University, I believe, or Ohio State, one of those. You know, I hope one year I'm able to get a close to perfect bracket. BYU, man, they sold me too. I had them making it to the Elite Eight with that big fella AJ Damanasta over there, but they fell short in the first round. Nonetheless, we're getting ready to start this third set here. Let's see how the Corsairs respond after falling short by 4 points in that second set. We're all tied up 1-1. We've got 007, aka James Bond, getting ready to serve here. And the bench are chanting, "We are the mighty Raiders," as James Bond serves it. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Sean Nelson coming out the timeout here. Lafton again. He was on fire in that second set. And there's Soria, met at the rim by Nelson and Lafton. And the Raiders take a 1-point lead in the third set. Nelson getting ready to serve with those frosted tips of his. Bench chanting his name. Deep breath. And the ball's over. James Bond lays out to get that one up in the air. Owen Peterson gets it over the net. And he meets him at the net. Ethan Lowe frustrated with how that. Oh, but that was a lane net violation. All tied up. 1-1. And here we go. We got Soria, Hanman, and Anisimov at the net. And Lowe with the Lowe special getting ready to serve. Peterson met by the three big fellas at the net. That's got to be intimidating. Salko to the chest of Bond. What a kill as he ties it up 2-2. Joey Nelson getting ready to serve. Guerrero checking in. Never mind. We've got Jackson Rape getting ready to serve as he's checking in for the libero. He gets it over. Lerner sets it up. Lowe gets it up in the air. And here comes Hanman, and Easy kills it over Guerrero. And Oliver Baton. Nelson checks back in. As Anisimov gets ready to serve. Get it up for Guerrero. Peterson. And Hanman says no. With the finger wag. There's Shaquille O'Neal-esque. And the Raiders bench chanting reset as they're trailing by 2 in the third set, and then Anisimov is getting ready to serve again. And there's too much power on the serve from Anisimov as it goes out of bounds. Point Raiders. Baton getting ready to serve for the Raiders. As Bond checks back in, and here comes Lerner as well. And Soria's barely able to get it over, but it works. They're up to 5 points now. And if you guys were wondering who this bench was led by for all this energy, it's the one and only number 9, Ali Badar out of Cairo, Egypt, who's bringing all the energy for his Raiders as Soria is getting ready to serve. Baton sets it up to Peterson. Peterson gets it to Anisimov. Let's see what Hanman has to say. He gets it over the net. Libero sets it up for Peterson, and he's met at the net. Hanman again, and Lerner saves it. And here comes Hanman, who's blocked. Tipped up in the air by the libero. Peterson is able to find the gap in that left corner over there. Point Raiders. Ref pointed out a little bit of a wet spot on the court, and Anisimov got his handled. Peterson getting ready to serve. Peterson gets it up. Ethan Lowe sending up Hanman. Net violation. Point Raiders. All tied up 5-5 in the third set. Here comes Lyons. We haven't seen him, and he's able to score. Hanman getting ready to serve. And Hanman serves it out of bounds, and it's all tied up again, 6-6. Libero Joey Nelson getting ready to serve. Damian Anisimov. But there was a violation there on that play. Couldn't tell you what it was. Raiders come ahead now, 7-6 as Nelson's getting ready to serve. He gets it over. And that was a mental mistake right there from Ryan Montero as he just floated it up in the air for Nelson to just go ahead and kill it. 2-point lead now. And Nelson with an impressive serve that threw the defense off guard and just casually strutted over the net and fell down. He was surprised himself. And the Corsairs called out, but they still hit it as Lerner hits it into Nelson. And Nelson finishes it. Other Nelson. Curious to know if they're related. Off of the appearance, I would guess no. 4-point lead now as Nelson serves again. And Lyons gets up a little bit too early, but here comes Nelson. Nelson again! And Nelson's on fire, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got Warwolves on the bench. SMC's looking to change it up as they got Ali Badar checking in. Set it up for Lerner, and Lerner's able to execute. Corsairs trail by 4 as they look to go on a run here as Lerner's getting ready to serve. Set up, Nelson. And Nelson's on fire. As he gets another kill here. And Titus comes in once again to more than likely serve here. And here comes Titus as he barely gets it over the net. And James Bond was able to lay out and save it as Damien tries to get it over. And Peterson comes flying in. Lerner saves it. Lowe sets it up for Damien. And Damien gets met at the net by the 3 Raiders. Lafton, Baton, and Nelson. It takes 3 to stop Damien Anisimov, ladies and gentlemen. This is a 6-point lead. The largest lead we've seen in any set so far. Titus serves. And that one was just in. Corsairs thought that one was going out of bounds and they just let it go to their mistake. Raiders point. And like I said, it's just about who's going to be more mentally checked in. And right now, the Corsairs are not checked in, but there's a mistake from Titus as he's frustrated. Bleeding stops, and the Corsairs trail by 6 now. James Bond getting ready to serve. James Bond serves. It's over. Nelson, setting up Nelson. And a little bit too much power, but the right idea, out of bounds. The lead is cut to 5. Bond getting ready to serve. Set up Nelson, met up by Lowe. Who are they going to set up again? Lafton. Bond saves it. Lowe sets it up for his guy, Damien. And Damien executes, and the lead is cut down to 4. Timeout. Timeout, Raiders. Coach Hedlund does not like what's going on right now. His Corsairs are going on a run. And hopefully looking to bounce back here in this third set as they've trailed by 7, which is the largest lead we've seen all night from any team. These Raiders came out in this third set ready to go. And I don't think the Corsairs were as ready as they were, as they came in and made a few mental mistakes. We saw that cheeky serve from Sean Nelson that just lofted right over the net right in front of 4 Raiders, who neither of them went for it. Nonetheless, they're looking like they're ready to bounce back. A quick timeout from coach, as he just wanted to make sure his guys are locked in and focused. Don't let this little run falter you guys. Bounce back, stay strong. We got Soria checking in and Bond getting ready to serve. Let's hope for a Corsair run here. Bond throws it up. Serve is good. And they set it up for Sanko, who gets met by Soria and Damien, but it is out of bounds on the block, and that is a point for the Raiders. 15-10. Sean Nelson getting ready to serve. So Raiders lead by 5. And here's Soria, who's been making a name for himself in these past 2 sets. And the leader, Joey Nelson, checks back in. Talking to his guys, letting them know. Ethan Lowe getting ready to serve. Give us the low special here. There it is. He gets it over. Peterson lofts it up in the air. Here comes Baton back to Peterson. And Soria blocks him. That's 2 points in a row for the one and only Soria Ramon. Middle blocker sitting at 6-6 from San Jose. We've got Anisimov, Hanman, and Rahman all at the net. As Lowe serves us with his low special. See how the Raiders respond. They set it up for Sanko, who pushes it right to Lowe. The libero, James Bond, sets it up for Damien Anisimov, and he executes. The Corsairs are on a run, ladies and gentlemen. Trailing by 2 here in the third set. And the Corsairs bench chanting, "You can't stop him." As their coach quote said, when he's docked in, he is unstoppable. Lowe, here again with a serve. Raiders set it up for Peterson, and Peterson gets it to James Bond. Lafton sets it up again, and Lafton gets it right back. Hanman gives it to the libero. Point for the Raiders there. Danny Guerrero checks in, and so does Jackson Wright, who's getting ready to serve. Three-point lead for the Raiders. 16-13, first to 25. Here comes Jackson. Barely gets it over. Ethan Lowe sets up Soria. He puts too much on that one. And he seems to be flustered. James Bond's letting him know, calm down, we're good. We're all good. We're trailing by 4 here. Let's bounce back. Jackson getting ready to serve. Jackson barely gets it over the net again. Ethan Lowe setting up the one and only Damien Anisimov, and he fools them, and he gets him with the tip. I think that's what separates him, is that he has such an impact that the defense is always prepared for the kill, but he, as soon as he reads them, that slight, as soon as they get in there, he just puts that tip right over them. Anisimov getting ready to serve as the Corsairs trail by 3 here in the third set. We got some sort of celebration on the bench for the Raiders, but it did not work, and it was not enough to stop Anisimov as he gets his third ace of the night. Trailing by 2 now, the Corsairs are looking to bounce back here in the third set. Here comes Anisimov. Another great serve from him. And here comes Peterson. James Bond with the save. Ethan Lowe gets it to Lerner, and Lerner's met at the net by Guerrero and Baton, but it is out of bounds. And they trail by 1 now, ladies and gentlemen. The beginning of the set was all Raiders, but the Corsairs have bounced back and are looking to tie it up here on this next possession. And the Corsairs bench screaming more. They want more from their star player, Anisimov. He's taking some deep breaths. Lerner's letting him know, we got this. We're good. Coach is all smiles. He's liking what he's seeing. And Anisimov getting ready to serve. Now this is a recipe that the Corsairs are familiar with, and they do enjoy it. Let's see how he does on this serve. And that's a great serve again. It's up in the air. Here comes Peterson. Peterson gets it over, and now it's a point for the Raiders. 18-16. Corsair trail by 2. Baton getting ready to serve. The Corsairs have been trailing this entire set. And here's Baton with the serve. Straight to Anisimov. Low. Hanman. And Hanman's able to finish it off. He's fired up. Lerner likes what he saw. And here comes Ramon. Getting ready to serve here. Ramon. And that one is barely out of bounds. Two-point lead again, 19-17. Peterson getting ready to serve here. Here comes Peterson, barely getting it over the net. Low sets it up. Here comes Lerner. And that one's barely out of bounds again. And Lyons checking back in. We haven't seen him too much in this third set after a great performance in the first set. Anisimov, low. Anisimov flying out of nowhere. Nelson, low. Bond sets it up. Who's going to get it? Lerner in the corner. And he hits the pole. Point Raiders. And they're starting to get away with this one as they're up by 4 now with only 4 points away from taking this third set. And Nelson's feeling himself. And here comes Peterson with the serve. How are the Corsairs going to respond? Low sets it up for Hanman. And that's who they need to get it to. He's on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's dialed in. He's getting ready to serve now as his Corsairs are trailing by 3. Impressive game here from Hanman all around. Let's see how his serve goes. He gets it over. They're going to set it up for the one and only Nelson. And he's been on fire as well tonight. Don't let those frosted tips fool you. And here comes the big fella, Lafson. Timeout Corsairs as they're going to talk things over as they trail by 4. And the Raiders are only 3 away from taking a 2-1 lead in this game. Well, this set has definitely been all Raiders. In the beginning of the set, the Raiders were on fire, and the Corsairs were not. They honestly seemed like they were in a bit of a slump, and they were not mentally checked in. But as the third set carried on, they made a little bit of a bounce back, and they cut the lead down to 1. But since then, The Raiders have been able to largen the lead here to 4, and they're 3 away from taking this third set. Anything can happen, ladies and gentlemen. Anything can happen. As we've got the leader, Joey Nelson, libero, 5'9", out of Simi Valley, Royal High School. Ready to serve for his Raiders. Hoping to go on a 3-point run here and secure the third set and secure some good odds. Coaches are talking things over with these Raiders. Refs are making sure everything's all lined up and good. Wish I had someone to talk to about this amazing game we're experiencing right now. Sarah would give us some good insight. She's our volleyball specialist. But you guys are just blessed with my presence tonight. I hope you guys are enjoying what we've been able to put on for you guys so far. And Coach Chown seems to be a little frustrated. And Ethan Lowe is going to go over here and talk to him about his frustrations. As I got a little bit of a wave from Nelson and Lafton to checking me out over here. Nelson likes to get involved with the crowd. I like that. These Raiders, they've got personality. They've got character, they've got chemistry, they've got commodity. Check off a lot of good boxes for success. Now let's see what's going to happen here in the third set as Nelson's getting ready to serve. Joey Nelson. Corsairs are looking to bounce back out of the timeout. Let's see what Coach John said to his fellows and see if they're able to bounce back here as the ball's up and it's over. Vaughn to Lowe to Lyons, who we haven't seen much yet, and he's able to execute. The lead's cut down to 3. These Corsairs are not phased, and they're ready to deal with this adversity as Lerner is getting ready to serve. Deep breath, ball's up, and it's over. Nelson to Baton to Lafton. Lerner saves it. Lowe sets it up for the man, Damon Nemisimov. They've got 4 guys ready. Baton, and here comes Sinkan up to Nelson, and Nelson finds a gap in the defense. Sanko, my apologies. And the Raiders are 2 points away from securing this third set. As they've got their server, Titus Sandefur, checked in. The bench is loving it. And all coaches are involved on the Raiders bench. They've got engagement from the players and the coaches on the bench. A little bit of a wipe down. Shout out Lerner for getting the job done. Let's go. Corsairs trail by 4. This is a pivotal set, ladies and gentlemen. And here we go. Ball's up. And that one's out of bounds. Titus came in just specifically for the serve. And he checks right back out as Sanko comes in, and so does the leader, Joey Nelson, telling his boys to calm down, do not worry. 007, James Bond, is getting ready to serve once again. The 5'10 stud from Croatia. Nelson finds the gap again, but there he is. And Lerner from back there was able to score. What an impressive point from Lerner. As Bond's getting ready to serve again, and the Corsairs only trail by 2 now. This is getting exciting. Here comes James Bond. Puts it up for Nelson. And here's Lafton. And Lafton was able to execute over Soria. And hang tight, ladies and gentlemen. The Raiders are 1 point away from securing this third set. As Sean Nelson and his frosted tips are getting ready to close this out, but not just yet. Timeout, Corsairs. Looks like we're going to be here all night, ladies and gentlemen. If these sets keep on going the way they are going, both teams able to reach 20 points in each set. And it's been back and forth all night. The Raiders have definitely entered the pavilion with the intentions of getting their get back after the Corsairs came into their home and secured the dub. Sean Nelson feeling himself, tongue out, dancing. He's happy, he's ready to go. He's getting ready to serve. He's talking. And here's the leader, Joey Nelson, from the bench, talking to his guys. Sanko was at a quiet set. Let's see if he's able to finish it off. And Nelson serves it, and it's up. Bond saves it low to Damien. And Damien hits it out of bounds. But it was tipped off the Raiders. Corsairs are not done just yet. Joey Nelson checks back in. And for the first time tonight, we are seeing Chase Patterson, 6'3" at 1,000 Oaks. Never mind, not just yet. Ethan Lowe with the low special. It's up to you now. Trailing by 2. Raiders are 1 point away from finishing off this third set. We see they go to Peterson. And that was the right decision as he was able to finish it off. And these Raiders are fired up. 2-1 lead to the Raiders. As the Corsairs were not able to bounce back. And Ethan Lowe wants to have a conversation with the ref. Man. It's hard to win a set when you're crawling back from right at the off rip. I mean, the Raiders came out in that third set and they had all the energy, all the momentum, mentally checked in, and the Corsairs were not. And it came to bite them back towards the end of the set as they were not able to bounce back. Even though they cut the lead down to 1 at one point, it was not enough. Nonetheless, it's not over for the Corsairs. If they're able to win this second set, they're able to push it to 5. They shall be able to win. But right now, their backs are against the wall. And the Raiders, hopefully they don't get too comfortable. They want their revenge. And they're hoping to get it in this next set. It's interesting. We saw a great performance in the first 2 sets from Jaden Lyons, but then in this third set, we didn't see much of him. I wonder what the decision was there. We did see Soria, perform. He had some good plays, but I thought we would see more of the Lions show, as he was having an impressive game so far. Perhaps we'll see him more in this 4th set. Let's see how everything turns out. If any of the buddies back home are checked in, hope you guys are doing good. Hope you guys are entertained by this volleyball game. I know I am. I get to enjoy the show all by myself tonight. Getting ready to go home after this and watch the new episode of Invincible. Boy, that a good show. Those who do not know, find out. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. If you're part of the younger crowd, don't recommend. It's quite vulgar. 20 seconds so we get this fourth set. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The fourth and potentially final set of tonight's game is getting ready to start. And the Raiders bench chanting, "Whose house? Our house." Corsairs are not looking to take that lightly. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Owen Peterson getting ready to start it off for us. And the ball's up in the air. Low sets it up for one and only Damon Anisimov. And that's out of bounds. Point Raiders. Not the start the Corsairs wanted. And here comes Peterson. Gets it across. And Sawyer responds. With a kill of his own. Damon Anisimov with the serve. Joey Nelson saves it, and here comes Sonko. That one was a little bit too much and out of bounds. 2-1 lead for the Corsairs. Anisimov getting ready to serve once again. Barely in. What a serve from Anisimov as his fourth ace of the night. 3-1, the Corsairs lead. I thought that one was out. Here comes Anisimov. Sets it up for Nelson. And he's blocked by Sawyer, and he's fired up. The Corsairs are not ready to go down just yet. They're on a 4-0 run here. Anisimov getting ready to serve again. What a save. Never mind. That's another ace. And that's a timeout, a quick one from the Raiders. With the backs against the wall, the Corsairs are not ready to go down yet, and they come out with a 5-0 run to start this fourth set. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be here all night, and it's going to be a great game. What a start for Corsairs, man. Again, with the music selection here in the pavilion, we've got some Kendrick. I'll give you guys a concert, but that's not too professional. I'm impressed with how these Corsairs came out. Ready to jump on these Raiders and take this fourth set and extend this game to a 5-setter. You got Hanman checking in, the big fella, who's been having a great night as well. Lowe, Soria, Lerner, the one and only James Bond, and the one and only Damon Anisimov. And the bench is not quite down yet on the Raiders' end as they're still fired up as Anisimov gets the ball up in the air. Peterson saves it. And here comes Sonko, who's met at the net. And here comes Nelson. And Nelson gets it right over Ethan Lowe. Point Raiders. Jackson Wright checking in to serve, more than likely. Sawyer responds with the kill of his own, and he's fired up as he jumps over to the bench, getting high fives from everybody. These Corsairs are not backing down yet as James Bond's getting ready to serve as they're leading by 4, 6-2 in this fourth set. Ball's up, it's over. A little extra punch on it. Baton sets up Sonko, men at the net, Damian Anisimov. Sets it up for Lowe, who sets it up for Hanman, and Hanman with a cheeky tip, but the libero, Nelson, is there, and here comes the outside hitter, Nelson. And he was met, and Ethan Lowe hits it out of bounds after a hustle play. Point Raiders, and there's my guy, Lyons, who's checked back in. See if he can make some noise. And Titus checks in, again, to serve for the Raiders. The bench is chanting Titus's name as he gets it over. Lerner sets it up for Lowe, who sets it up for Hanman. And a great return from Peterson. Going back to Hanman, who gets too much power on it, out of bounds. Point Raiders, 6-4. Here comes Titus. Lerner to Lowe, to Lyons. It's too easy for him. Hanman getting ready to serve as they are leading by 3 in this fourth set. Let's see what he can do. Peterson returns it. Sets it up for Sonko, their main guy, straight to Damon Anisimov, and that was the right play. 7-5, Raiders point. Sean Nelson getting ready to serve. Here comes Nelson with a powerful serve. And Jaden Lyons there to meet him at the net. Sets it up for Peterson, who's able to score. 7-6. Raiders trail by 1. And there's a mental error, much needed for the Corsairs, as they take a 2-point lead now. Lerner getting ready to serve. Corsairs are hoping to take this set and push this game to a 5-setter and ultimately take the win, protect their name in their house. Here comes Sonko, who's flying in the air. He's got some hang time, and David Anisimov is there to kill. 9-6, Corsairs lead. Lerner getting ready to serve. Lafton is putting some energy up on the net, but Jaden Lyons is not letting it have it. And here he comes again. Never mind, it's Owen Peterson. And Jaden Lyons was able to block him out of bounds. Point Raiders, 9-7. Here comes Nelson. To low to Anisimov, who gets it to 3 guys. Wow. Corsairs reach 10. Raiders are trailing by 3. Jaden Lyons getting ready to serve. We're happy to see him here in the 4th set as he's well rested now. He puts it up and over. Grazing over the net. Baton sets it up for Peterson. Peterson gets blocked. Lyons saves it. And Lerner tries to get it over. And Nisimov finishes the job. Peterson getting ready to get it over. Out of bounds. Point Corsairs as they're leading by 4. Sonko checking out for my favorite name to say, Marco Farabolini out of Granada Hills, wearing number 8. And Lions with the service error. Point Raiders. Baton with the serve. Vaughn sets it up. And there's a fake. Quite impressive. Faked me out. Ethan Lowe. Wow. 4-point lead for the Corsairs. Lowe's getting ready to serve. And there's the Lowe special. There's the Lowe special that I trademarked already for you. Ethan getting ready to serve. He gets it over. Nelson throws it up for Baton. Baton sets it up for Sonko. Out of bounds. Straight to the line, Judge. 5-point lead for the Corsairs. Joey Nelson telling his boys, come on, dig deep. Can't get tired now. We're 1 set away from winning it. And the Corsairs have their backs against the wall as Lowe's getting ready to serve. Nelson to Baton. To Guerrero, who hits it against the net, and frustration is starting to show. And there's the second timeout early in the 4th for coach of the Raiders, Hedlund, Coach Hedlund. My apologies. Well, it's looking like we're going to have 5 sets tonight. And it looks like the Corsairs know how to battle through adversity, as they were trailing significantly in that 3rd set. And they came out and they realized the issue was they weren't able to get a good jump on these Raiders, and the Raiders got a jump on them. But now they're able to flip the script in this 4th set. And so far, they're up by 6, their largest lead in any set tonight. 11 points away from pushing this to 5. We're seeing some frustration from the Raiders as Danny Guerrero hits straight to the net. He was not too happy about that play. Joey Nelson is a leader, though. He is talking to every one of his guys, high-fiving everybody, making sure everyone's on the same page. You can always use a guy like that on your team. And here comes Lowe getting ready to serve. What an impressive play he had earlier with that fake set to the other side. Caught everyone off guard. Lowe. Baton sets it up for Peterson. And Peterson's able to kill. Point Raiders. Here comes Sean Ogle, 5'10" libero out of Santa Clarita. As Peterson's getting ready to serve. The Raiders trail by 5. Bailey taps the net. Hanman. Point Raiders. And Bond wants Lowe to talk to the ref and give him an explanation on that one. And Coach Sean not too happy with that one. Peterson getting ready to serve again. And great read by Lerner. That one's out of bounds. And the Corsairs are 10 points away from taking this fourth set. And this is the first time we're seeing Brandon Romero, 6 foot, out of Oxnard, California, went to Chanel Highlands High School. And here comes the star, Anisimov, serving it up. Baton setting up. Sanko, who's able to finish that one off. What a great set from Baton there. Getting his guys in their spots, making it easy for them to execute. As Jackson Rape checks in again, serve the ball for the Raiders. They're trailing by 4 here. One set away from winning it all. We're getting a little bit of a chatter between these two teams. Looks like it's all smiles, though. That's what I like to see. Good sportsmanship. Here comes Jackson. And he serves that one just in bounds. What a serve. And the Raiders only trail by 3 now. And that's what Coach brings them in to do. Here's Jackson again. Straight to Lerner. Low. And Soria is met at the net by none other than Sanko. We're starting to get heated up here in this fourth set. The lead's cut down to 2 now, ladies and gentlemen. Jackson Ripe getting ready to serve again. Let's see if the Corsairs can bounce back and make something happen here. That one barely over the net. Lowe sets it up for Hanman. Hanman's met at the net. Lowe sets it up again for his man Hanman, and Hanman finds the hole, and he scores. 16-13. Corsairs lead. Danny Guerrero checks in for Jackson. Good couple serves from Jackson. They got the big fella Danny back in. 007 getting ready to serve it up. What a serve. Romero saves it from going out of bounds, and Nelson gets it over the net. Bond letting everyone know he's there, and Hanman. What a save. Nelson gets it back over the net. Bond sets it up. Lowe sets it up for who? None other than David Anisimov, but the defense from the Raiders is exceptional here. And Lyons gets it over the net. And he nods his head. Don't worry, I got it. 4-point lead for the Corsairs. Bond getting ready to serve. It's up. And that one's too much. Out of bounds, point Raiders. They trail by 3 here. 3. Excuse me. See if they're going to be able to go on a run here as Titus, their one of their designated servers. It seems to be Titus and Jackson who check in solely for the purpose of serve. And they've done a good job so far in that department. We got Sean Ogle in. Lerner sets it up for Lowe. Lowe sets it up for Hanman. Hanman gets it up. Romero saves it from going out of bounds. And Nelson couldn't get the angle on that one. And that is a point for the Corsairs, as they're leading now by 4. Romero's checked in and gave some good minutes so far for the Raiders as Sanko checks back in for Titus. Nelson leading per usual, and Hanman's getting ready to serve. And here's Hanman, straight to libero Nelson, and Nelson banks it off the head of Lowe. And here comes Lafton, and it's no good. Points, Corsair. They're leading by 5 now. Here comes Hanman. And Jaden Lyons says, not today, ladies and gentlemen. Corsairs are now the first of 20. And I know Coach Sean would like to use a timeout right now, but he already used both of them early in this fourth set. And the Corsairs have been dominating all set. Let's see if they can close out here as they're 5 away from pushing this game to 5 sets. Here comes Hanman. Romero to Baton to Nelson, and Nelson gets blocked by Lyons. Baton sets it up in the air. Sonko gets it up. Bond sets it up to Lowe, who wanted to get that one in. Defense was there. Raiders. Lyons tips it in the wrong direction. Points Raiders. They're trailing by 5 now. As Sean Oldland checks in, get ready. Nelson's getting ready to serve here. Don't count these Raiders out yet. We've seen adversity, and we've seen them put on a show all night. Nelson, straight to Anisimov. Sets it up for Lerner. And Lerner's able to execute as he flexes. What a play from Lerner. Small, but boy does he get up there. 21-15, Corsairs lead in this fourth set. Here comes Lerner, serving it. And Lyons met him at the net, and Anisimov straight to Sonko. And Jaden Lyons is there again, ladies and gentlemen. At the net once again. And he's letting them know, there's no way you get it over me. 3 points away from taking this fourth set and pushing it to 5. The Corsairs are getting ready to serve as we've got Lerner, and it's over. Baton sent out for Peterson. Peterson gets it across, but Lerner's there. Anisimov finds the gap, and he scores. 2 points away from pushing this to 5 as they have their largest lead all night, 8 points. Lerner gets it up. Nelson's met, and it's blocked by Anisimov. 1 point away from pushing this to 5. What a comeback from the Corsairs and their pavilion at home. Not ready to go out yet with their backs against the walls. Here comes Lerner. Nelson, Baton, Peterson. And he finds the gap in the defense, and he stops the bleeding as they trail by 8. With the Corsairs 1 point away from taking this fourth set. Here comes Nelson, the libero. We've seen some impressive serves, but he's not able to score on this one. And here comes Lyons! And he finishes it off for the Corsair Raiders as they push this game to 5 sets. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the 5th set, the final set of tonight's game. What a matchup we've got. What an impressive game tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We've seen Anisimov all over the place, Lyons all over the place, comes back in after not playing too much in the fourth, and he puts on a great show as he closes it out for the Corsairs to push this to 5. Let's see who gets the jump on first. That's what's crucial and been the story of tonight's game. Whoever was able to get a jump first in these sets ultimately took those sets. Now with the final set getting ready to come and play, I think both teams are going to come out with extra firepower and extra resilience as they've been battling all night now. This rematch has been a great one. Now the deciding factor will be, will the Corsair go 2-0 against Morrpark, or will the Raiders even it out and get their revenge? We see Lerner over there getting his knee wrapped up by the athletic trainer. I hope he's all good and ready to keep going, as he's been giving some great plays for the Corsairs. Thank you everybody who's tuning in, and thank you everybody in Gail Fetcher's class, saying they've been here all day, ladies and gentlemen. They are the real unsung MVPs of, without them we're not able to put on this production for you guys. And they do a lot more work than I do behind the scenes. They get here hours before me, set everything up, and then they stay hours after to break everything down. And we appreciate all that they do for us, led by the one and only Gail Fetzer. And Thorin. Don't worry, Thorin, I won't forget about you. The IT guy. The main man. 50 seconds, and we'll be right back to see how this game will play out. I'm excited. I am excited. We're back, and we're ready for this final set, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see how this plays out. Both teams putting on a great performance all night. Anisimov gets a quick little slap to his teammate, Soria, get him dialed up and locked in. Show him how to use that length. Ethan Lowe with the low special, started us off. Man, he had a nice play in that fourth set right there. Let's see how he does. Here we go. Ball's in. Nelson gets up to Romero. Peterson. And Peterson executes off rip. 1-0 Raiders. Sean Ogle coming in. Romero getting ready to serve. Excuse me, not Romero. My guy, Marco Farabolini. And there he is. Soria Rahman bouncing back, responding with the kill of his own. 1-1. Back and forth. The common trend for tonight, but the Corsairs are happy to have their guy, Damien Anisimov, getting ready to serve. Here he is. Barely gets over the net. Peterson. Bond to Hanman. And Hanman gets met at the net by Guerrero and Sonko, who are fired up. Peterson getting ready to serve. Here comes Damien. Straight to Peterson. To Marco. To Nelson. Lowe sets it up for Damien. And he's met by Guerrero. What a block. Here comes Lerner. We got a rally, folks. Lerner met Sonko at the net. How did he get up there? Here comes Lowe. Here comes Hanman. And Hanman finds the gap in the defense and he ties it up 2-2. Bond getting ready to serve. What a rally. Bond throws it up and serves. Marco to Sonko. And Bond's fired up. After that one goes right past him out of bounds. Corsairs lead. Looks like we're having a bit of a technical difficulty here again. Hanman checks back in. Coaches are upset with the refereeing tonight. Lyons, who's been having a great night, is checking back in. Here comes Bond, who's ready to serve. We got a Raider chance, and the Corsairs bench responds with their own. Refs clearing everything up. Here comes Bond. He's fired up, ladies and gentlemen. I think everyone else is as Nelson comes in. Lyons saves it. Damon sets it up for Lerner, who gets blocked by Guerrero and Sanko. We're all tied up, 3-3. Jackson Ripe checks back in as he's getting ready to serve, as we've seen him do all night tonight. Here comes Jackson. Gets it to Lerner, to Lowe, to Jaden. Lyons, ladies and gentlemen, with the shoulder shrug. Another great kill after another great performance from him tonight. Joey Nelson checks back in for the Raiders, as well as Lafton. And here comes Hanman on the serve. Peterson to Marco, to Sanko, who's blocked by none other than Jaden Lyons. Number 10, have yourself a night. The Corsairs are feeling the energy in the pavilion, and they are using it to their advantage. And Hanman getting ready to serve again. Peterson. Here comes Nelson. And it's saved. Marco sets up the guy, Sanko. And he's able to find a gap in the defense, and he scores. 5-4, Raiders trail. Ryan Montero checking back in. Titus Sandifor getting ready to serve for the Raiders. They're trailing by 1 in the 5th set. Damon sets it up. Here comes Lyons. And there's the violation. Point Raiders. It's all tied up, 5-5. Titus getting ready to serve again. We're seeing some action here from Ali Badar again as he checks back in late into the game. Let's see who can go on a run here in the 5th set and who's going to take it all. Here comes Titus. And that one's out of bounds. Great read from the defense as they take a 1-point lead here as Ethan Lowe checks back in. We got Lerner getting ready to serve for the Corsairs. Sanko checks back in for the Raiders. Ball's up. And here comes Lafton, who is met by Jaden Lyons, and he gives him the head tap after an impressive block. Jaden Lyons is on fire, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Nelson to respond. Peterson saves it. Sets it up for Nelson again. Anisimov saves it. Lowe comes running in. Anisimov comes in to clean it up. Here comes Lowe. Lowe with the right play! Boy, is he smart. That's twice now he's made an impressive play off of his own wits. And that's a timeout by the Raiders as the Corsairs lead by 3 in the 5th set. What an exciting game we have here. Man, that's 2 plays from Lowe in the clutch where he outfakes the defense. The crowd is getting involved and they're getting excited. And that's another early timeout from Coach Hedlund. And I think that he might want to be careful because the last set that he called 2 timeouts, and in the end he wasn't able to stop the bleeding towards the end of the 4th set as the Corsairs went on a run, as they are on a run right now. So it was the right call to call a timeout, but might want to hold on to that second one. What a great game we've had tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The Corsairs have the momentum, but the Raiders have shown that they are not going to back down easily as Lafton has had his nose plugged up. Got a bloody nose. I didn't see that one happen. Lerner serves it. Nelson finds a hole in the defense and he scores to stop the bleeding. They trail by 2. Sean Ogle checking in. And Nelson getting ready to serve. Bit of a misfire to our ball girl, but no worries. Here comes Nelson. And he messes up on the serve. 9-6 Corsairs. Sawyer Rahman checks back in as James Bond heads to the bench and Jaden Lyons gets ready to serve. Corsairs set up Rahman as he outfakes the defense, and it works! That's 2 impressive plays from the Corsairs as they're leading by 4 in the 5th set. It's win or go home now, ladies and gentlemen. And there's the second timeout from the Raiders. They have no more. It looks like the adjustments were not working and he's going to have to change the game plan. I'm interested to know why he called a timeout so soon. You've got much game to play. You're only trailing by 4. Let your guys play a little bit more, no? Interesting decision there. The momentum is in the favor of the Corsairs as they're looking to hold down their home turf after the Raiders bench was chanting, "This is their house." Now, if I'm anyone on the Corsairs roster, I'm taking that one personally, and I'm coming out with some extra flair. These liberos for the Raiders have been leading their team all night. Sean Ogle and Joey Nelson are extremely vocal. And the bench is full of energy as we've seen all night. And here comes Mr. Lyons to serve again after his impressive performance tonight. We should see much more from him as he serves. Straight to Owen Peterson. Marco sets up Peterson again. Sonko saves it from being a point for the Corsairs, and Peterson gets it across. Lowe sets up Damon Anisimov. What a save by Nelson. Here comes Sonko. Too much out of bounds. 5-point lead for the Corsairs. Excuse me, I was wrong. Looks like there was a tip by the Corsairs, and that's point Raiders. They only trail by 3 now. As Joey Nelson's getting ready to serve, and don't be fooled by his serve. He has some magic voodoo on it. As they got Damian Anisimov, who's blocked by Marco, who's fired up, who comes in late in the game, fresh legs, and gives some great plays for the Raiders. 2-point lead, Corsairs. Joey getting ready to serve. Soria to low, to Anisimov, get him involved, and that one's out of bounds. And the lead is only 1 now. If the Raiders score here, we got to see a timeout from Coach Chown. No way. He's upset with that last call, but from over here, it looked out of bounds. And there's the timeout right now. Not a bad decision. Stop the bleeding before it's too late. Raiders come back out of the timeout, and it looks like it was the right call by Coach because he drew something else up, and it worked perfectly, and they went on a 4-0 run. Well, that means we've got 1 timeout left in this entire game, so we should have the rest of the night full of intense volleyball. Neither of these teams are giving up. This is a great matchup between 2 high-level, well-coached volleyball teams. I'm excited to see how this is going to play out. Nelson, Joey Nelson getting ready to serve. He had a serve, I think it was in the 3rd set, just completely fooled the Corsairs defense, floated right over the net and fell right in front of 4 players. I was shocked, but it was impressive as well. Anisimov gets it back, and he's able to execute. He's coming up big late in the 5th set. We've got the fans with their pots and pans banging, making noise as the Corsairs lead by 2 and are 14 points away from taking home this match in the 5th set. What a game, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes Lowe. Lowe with the serve. And that one's blocked out of bounds after an impressive potential kill from Guerrero. 1-point lead, Corsairs. They're chanting the Marco Polo. And that one went straight to the broadcast booth. Nonetheless, great point from Soria Rahman as the Corsairs take a 2-point lead here. And Bond checks back in, and Anisimov is getting ready to serve. And Anisimov, a rare mistake, point Raiders. Pearson getting ready to serve as his team trails by 1. Bond to Lowe, to Lerner, who's met, but it is blocked out of bounds. Point Corsair. Back and forth, ladies and gentlemen, back and forth. The theme of tonight. And Sanko gets it straight to Anisimov, who couldn't handle it. And that's a point for the Raiders, 13-12. Here comes Jackson Rape to serve. Lowe sets up lines. He's blocked, but saved by Lowe. Lerner with the cheeky tap. Read by the defense. Sanko gets it over. Onman gets it up in the air. Lowe sets him up. Nope, it's Anisimov, who fools the defense again! What a play! 14-12, Corsairs lead. Onman getting ready to serve as Guerrero checks back in for Ripe. Onman. They're setting up Nelson. And he kills him! In between Lowe and Lyons was not enough to stop Nelson, who's been on fire this game. Corsairs lead by 1. As Titus Sandefur checks back in to serve. Titus. Fully tied up. Will the Corsairs take a 2-point lead? Uh-oh, saved by Bond. Gets it over. Peterson. Puts a little bit too much on it. And the unsung hero off the bench, Ali Badar with the great play, and the Corsairs are loving it. And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. They win 15-13 in the 5th set. What a game. This was a back and forth battle between two colleges who put on great performances, well coached, well fought. Effort was not the issue in tonight's game. What a rematch between these two teams. The Corsairs finished tonight with a 13-6 record, and they snapped their losing streak as Morrpark moves on to a 2-game losing streak, and they are now falling 8-9. That makes the Corsairs 7-2 at home as they get ready for their next game. Friday night here. Do not miss it. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Victor Estrada. Shout out Gail Fetzer and her class for putting on the production, and Thorne as well for helping us out. And thank you guys for tuning in. Have a great night.